It's day 2 of our project. You ready to go? Let's do it! Getting ready to sand up there, and there's a couple options you have. I already use this paddle hand sander. Okay, you can get those about 10 bucks at the store. Just plastic, heavy plastic. There's another one here. This has a swivel head. You could use something like that. I usually use this for my walls. You could take a broom handle. You can just screw it on there. Now they make these sanding poles. This is called a sanding pole when you got it like this. You can buy one at the store like this, but then you can't unscrew it, you know? And then it's harder to store and stuff. This way, you can just buy this separately. And the thing I like is I can screw a broom handle on there. I can store it just like this in a drawer or a closet or whatever. And the good thing is if your ceilings are taller than just a regular broom handle size, you can put an extension pole on here, like a painter's extension pole. You can get way up there, and I've done that before, and that works out great. With the regular sanding pole, you can't really do that because the sanding pole isn't any longer than a broom handle. Okay, but I'm not going to use the swivel head one. I want to get right up there because I'm doing a small patch. I want to get right up there, close, so I can sand it like this, with a light touch. I can feel it with my hand because I only want to do a little bit, but I want to make sure I do a nice job. So that's what I'm going to use. Now, the one thing I failed to mention to you, this pad is a separate pad, and then you screw it on there. You attach it, fold it over, tighten up the end here, tighten this up. And these are replacement pads, okay? So if you were wondering about that, that's what that's all about. These are just all replacement pads. You can get different grits of sandpaper for that, specifically for sheetrock and drywall use, okay? But you probably knew that. I thought I'd just clarify, just in case. Upon closer inspection on this swivel head sanding apparatus, my paper's already ripping. I'm not going to really use this one anyways. I was just here show and tell, as it were. But you know, next time I use this, I'm going to replace this pad. But because of that, don't throw it away. You know, I'm going to end up saving this. Then I can use this for a little piece of sandpaper that I can sand with my hand to get in those nooks and crannies and stuff and fold this over and all that. So this still has a lot of life left in this sanding pad. So don't throw those away, okay? Keep using them. This is the next day. See how this patch, it dried all the way? You can hardly see that up there. It's right here, goes all the way down, about here on down. And when it's 100% dry, that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so that's my first coat of all-purpose joint compound on there. And I'm just going to lightly sand this now because I'm going to put another coat over this, and the next coat, what am I going to put on here? That's right, it's going to be a skim coat. But before I put that skim coat on, I want to sand this because there's fine edges to here. And I need to sand that off because if I don't, for me to bridge out the next skim coat layer, I would have to bridge over these little lines. And I know the lines don't look like very much. You probably can't even see them, but I can see them. I got my light shined up here just right. And I'm going to sand around this patch now. And I'm just going to get off the edges. Okay, the key is not to sand very much. Make sure no air is on because all this stuff is filtering into the air now. And if you don't have a light on your surface like this, you're just asking for problems. You might think, oh, it's good enough. I can see what I'm doing. I don't need to do that. When you get the light on here with your construction light, because I know you're going to get one of these, you can see everything. Okay, so I'm not necessarily going to sand in the patch area except just a few swipes. And that's it, because the key is we've got a layer of general purpose, I always want to call it general purpose, it's just all purpose joint compound. We've got a thin layer of that over the quick set that we installed. And I don't want to sand too hard, because if I think, oh, I'm going to really get up there and do a really good job, you're going to sand all of the all-purpose joint compound right off of the quick set. We don't want to do that. We're trying to cover that layer. Remember? Okay. I'm just going along the edges. I'm feeling that, and I can see it too. Nice and easy. And I'm just going to hit it right down the middle a little bit, not a whole lot. That's it. Okay, that's ready to go. Now I'm going to just keep on going down. Now lots of people don't necessarily do a little sanding like this between coats, but it's always a good idea. Most sheetrockers, if you talk to them, they sand this coat just slightly, because all they want to do is get off the ridges and stuff. And because this is a patch, I want it to blend in. If this was new sheetrock, I wouldn't be as concerned as much, you know. But when we get done too, this is smooth wall finish. No spray texture on it or stipple texture, anything like that. This is going to be smooth. And so I've got to do a good job. I don't want my patch to show when I get done. Okay? That's the name of the game. When you do a patch, what you're trying to do is make it look like there's nothing there when you get done. We don't want you to brag about your patch. Oh yeah, I patched my ceiling, and have somebody look, my God, yeah, he patched it. I can see it. Do I tell them, or do I just kind of shake my head and say, yeah, but if the guy ever wants to come out to my house, he's not going to do a patch for me because I can see it. You know? None of that. If you don't think you can do this, you just play these videos back a couple times, and you know, you just got to get in there and do it. Is this my first patch? No. And the first time I was a little apprehensive about it myself. But I didn't have anybody to teach me. You know, I just kind of watched and learned and did some on my own. I just thought, hey, I'm not going to start paying anybody to do my patches anymore. I'm going to do them myself. I'm going to save that money, save that coordinating with somebody else, and make a few extra bucks, you know? Okay. That's it. Done with the sanding. Now, for the next step, we're going to put sheetrock mud up there, the quick set, not the quick set, the all-purpose joint compound for our next coat. Are we ready for that yet? Think about it. Are we ready for the skim coat yet? No, we're not. Almost. Get your broom up there again. Dust that off a little bit. You may think, what good does this really do? But, you know, if you got a thin layer of dust up there, you're going to have the skim coat have a problem sticking up there, right? Well, that's why I dust them down. It only takes a few minutes, not even that. All right, now we're ready for the skim coat.